in introducing our guest speaker and trying to think of how to introduce our friend George Allen, I thought of a long list of accomplishments, but you all know those. But the one thing that stuck in my mind and I thought was just worth briefly retelling, one of the first times that I heard George Allen speak, it was in Madison County at Graves Mountain Lodge. And he was then representing us in the United States Congress in the House of Representatives. And at that time, not unlike present times, there was a lot of concern that Congress was out of touch with the American people. And there were things going on in Congress, and congressmen were looking out for their own self-interest instead of the interest of the people. And some of it had even gotten a little silly, but we had congressmen who had a checking account up there, and they were bouncing checks on their checking accounts, and they were going and getting their hair cut and not paying for it. And George Allen stood in front of this group, I think that was the Rotary Club of Culpeper up at Graves Mountain Lodge, and George Allen stood there and reached in his pocket and pulled out his personal checking account, and I don't remember if it was First Virginia Bank or what, but he did not have one of those checking accounts, and he told us that he'd been down to Staples Barbershop in Charlottesville recently to get his hair cut. And that's the kind of guy that George Allen was then, and that's the kind of guy that George Allen is today, a man of firm conservative principles. Welcome back to Madison County.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, friends, patriots all, good afternoon. It is a great afternoon, and after Beth was wonderful song, inspirational, it's really perfect. And I told Ed, I said, I wish you were speaking after me. I'd hate to have to go after her. Lo and behold, Ed had to go after your wonderful song. And thank you for that great introduction. And this district through the years, whether it was George Beard, who was kind of my mentor. I remember George telling me, I lost my first election, and we're at the Greene County Fair, and I see George Beard, and he pulls out a big old chaw of tobacco, and he's chewing. And they said, they always told me, you can't chew, and you had to get rid of I had to get rid of my boots, and I had to get rid of big shiny belt buckles, and all that kind of stuff. And George Beard said, I said, gosh, you're doing this? He says, yeah, you got to be yourself. And that's just a good, wholesome, common sense approach. Ed Scott is carrying on that good, common sense, conservative leadership. The guy's as steady as a tree. You just know that he's always going to be an oak tree, not some sapling. It's a red oak. And he's just a person that you can count on. You know he's not going to get blown one way or the other by the sentiments of the moment, but he's just a person who understands the people of his district, cares about the people of his district and their opportunities. And it's just a person you just can always count on to do the right thing in Richmond. And that, thank you for devoting so much of your time and your life to serving the people of this district. I know most of the folks here are from Madison, so and I know there's some BTs come down the road, and there's a few from Culpeper, and I don't know, whatever, somebody may have come from Rappahannock. I knew somebody'd have to be from Rappahannock. That's good. What else we got? Green. Good Greene County folks. Orange. All right, look at this. Good barbecue will bring folks out and air conditioning as well. Otherwise, we'd be wilting here. And I have a lot of memories of all those counties, but Madison is one that, in every Greene County, there's great memories of Greene County since that was in that first election I ran in, and I actually won Greene County in Fluvanna, but did not win Charlottesville, which was the difference in the election. But Madison County really does have a special place in my heart. I was telling Nate, there he is, he's still here. Just driving down the Prince Michel Winery, when Monsieur Leduc had a special gratitude for America for the Normandy invasion and D-Day. And I was just thinking, what a wholesome thing that was. He comes here from France, but settles, obviously, his investments here in Madison County. Then as far as that congressional race, to get that nomination, the very first one, Ed Edens was there, Carl, you were there, in the downtown, so to speak, there in Madison with Sparrow flying around. And I got all 9 delegate votes out of Madison County. That was a key, pivotal first. It was a battle royal. I mean, we didn't have 9-0 as far as the people who were there, but Ed Edens somehow counted it up and got delegates elected 9-0, and I'll always remember that if we're getting that nomination. You mentioned Graves Mountain Lodge, the best place in all of Virginia, heck, the best place in the world to eat. Just fantastic. I remember going there as governor and helping him, Mr. Graves, move his cattle. He got on horseback. The security forces weren't all that thrilled with this kind of stuff, but nonetheless, that's a good memory. And Tanner's Feed Store. Is John any of the Tanners here? No, but that's my mother's favorite place to go to. Have you ever been and seen Joan Tanner's desk? Things all piled up, in there. It makes my mother feel like she's really organized. So if you see the Tanners, give them my regards, and especially from my mother. And the Waldron's honey, I know there's somebody from the Waldron family here. The Colonel's still kicking at 99. He's got to make it 100. Don't worry about these estate taxes. He's listening on these. All right, y'all understand it. Listen, not only are you just wonderful, friendly people, you're obviously informed. Because I'm not going to get into it with anything. And at any rate, but the point is that Madison County, and this Piedmont part of Virginia, when you come down 29 from the north and you see the mountains when you come into Culpeper County, it's harder to see today because it's so stinking hot and humid. Nonetheless, you can see them, and it just lifts your heart. It really does just lift your heart to see the Blue Ridge Mountains. And to see all of y'all here coming out on a Saturday, it does one's heart good, because what you all care about is the future of our country. And you could be doing something else. And what I'm seeing across Virginia, it started up last summer. You saw it at a lot of these town hall meetings, and you saw it at tea parties and various other events, is that a lot of Americans in Virginia and all across our country are really concerned about the future of our country. They're riled up, they're stirred up. They see that our country's the same things that we saw. It's actually